Assalamu alaikum. I want to talk today about the importance of leaving a mark or a fingerprint, so to speak, on this world. It's important to نضع البصمة, to leave our mark not just on society but on ourselves. So it's important that you understand that that is compatible with the role that we play as humans on this earth and the concept of Allah electing to send a Khalifa. Inni ja'ilun fil ardi Khalifa. So that role that we play, each and every one of us should and could leave their own mark in their own way. And there's no mark that is too big for any one person, because we can all do it in different ways. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam said that in his famous dua, he said, رَبِّ هَبْ لِي حُكْمًا وَأَلْحِقْنِي بِالصَّالِحِينَ. Of course, he was asking for wisdom and eventually to be in paradise. But he also said في سورة الشعراء وَاجْعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. And I'm asking you to leave me a good reputation and for people to know of me as a good person, as an honest person, as a sincere person. لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. فِي الْآخِرِينَ, for people that will come much, much later. And then he said, وَاجْعَلْنِي مِنْ وَرَثَةِ جَنَّةِ النَّعِيمِ. And after that, I'm asking for paradise. The dua is very important because it really means that people should always care about leaving a legacy, as we sometimes call it. Now, the problem that some people might experience is that they think that this is too big for them, leaving a legacy. I mean, doing something that is going to leave my fingerprint. How big is that project supposed to be? It does not need to be a massive project. Sayyidina al-Hussein used to take food to the poor. And when he died, they found that he had bruises on his shoulder from carrying food to the poor. That was his legacy. That was his trademark, if you want to call it that. That was his signature, because he elected to do something that it meant for him that it's going to make a difference in somebody else's life. So it's really critical that you set a goal, and the goal does not need to be huge. Of course, you can dream big, but to be practical, you do not need to make it impossible, but just decide that I want to make a difference. I want to do something. You can start with a team. You can work with an organization, or you can do it on your own. But set that goal. To have a hadaf, to have a purpose in life. And that's not just like on the societal level. It's really important for you as a person to say, I want to do something. I want to make a difference. When I leave this world, what will I be remembered for? Within my family, within my society, within my ummah, within, hopefully on a much larger international scale. But it's important to start small, because one of the biggest problems that we deal with sometimes with, leaving our fingerprint, so to speak, is that people think that they are not worthy, that they're not good enough, and they feel that, who am I to do this? What's called taqzeem al-nafs, which is like you making yourself seem, less important, that I'm not really, good enough. And sometimes, people say, trying to be humble, who am I to do this? That is really running away from the responsibility. Sayyidina Yusuf, he went up to the king and said, اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. I'm asking you to appoint me as the prime minister or the head of the treasury, because I have the knowledge, I have the know-how, and I want to take on this responsibility. So it's important to have that mubadara, that is the taking the initiative, as we call it. That is really important because it defines those that are the doers and those that make a difference in this world. Usually scholars in psychology and social sciences, they have a term for people that just follow orders. They call them chicken, just because they're just they just eat and they do what they're told. Now there's a higher level of mubadara when people start asking questions, but still they would not do anything. And then there is a higher level of people who are willing to do something, and that is those that will do something and always talk about doing something. And that is okay, but it's not the best when it comes to the sincerity that we ask for and our deen asks for in being in looking to do something for the sake of Allah and not for riyah. And then there is something that or there are people that will do and will not say that they are doing, and those are the best of the best, because they are those that set goals and take the initiative and start doing something about making a difference and making a change and leaving their mark. And that is those are the personalities and the characters that are usually the ones that leave a mark on history. One of I believe a French philosopher said that this world was really changed by 500 people. He may be exaggerating, but the people that make a difference. Now I do not subscribe to that way of thinking, because it doesn't have to be a huge mark that you leave. You need to do something on whatever level that you think that you can contribute. And believe me, nothing is small, because at the end, making a difference in the life of one person, Rasul ﷺ said, إِنْ يَهْدِيَنَّ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلًا وَاحِدًا خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَمَا فِيهَا. If Allah helps you to guide one person, that is better than this entire life. So imagine if you do things that will help more people. Now, it's important to also focus on what's called the skill set that you need to be able to make a difference and leave your mark. There's a saying in Arabic that the more skills that you have, and I'm translating, the more skills that you have, the more you will provide to society, and the more people will love you and need you, and the less you will need people. And the opposite is true. The less skills that you have, the more people will do without you and they will not need you, and the more that you will need them. So it's really important that whatever you do, to always try to enhance your skill set. If you are a college graduate, try to get skills in more fields, and try to kind of make yourself sort of available to do clinical work, and try to always experiment with adding to your knowledge, because that really makes a huge difference on how much more efficient and how much more knowledgeable you will become, and that will make a difference in how helpful you are to your ummah and to your society in general. I say this because we always hear about people want to leave this world kafafan, they just want to leave this world and not really take anything, because this world is fani. This world is, there's no need for it. It's all about the akhirah. And they forget that this is not what Allah wanted for us. He said, "Inni ja'alun fil ardi khalifa." So if you are a khalifa, then you have to leave a mark on this world. And I believe that we are all capable of leaving that mark in different levels and different ways, and you never know. You might start something that you think is very small, and it could become huge in how it benefits humanity. It's all about being sincere. So we ask Allah أن يرزقنا الإخلاص في القول والعمل. We ask Allah to give us sincerity in what we say and what we do, because that is really a sort of, that calling is what will define who you are, and will have society define you as the person that contributed X, Y, or Z. And you might not be really necessarily honored by society in your life. It might be عمل صالح ينتفع به، ممكن تكون صدقة جارية. It might be something that you think didn't make a difference, that will make a difference later on in life. So we ask Allah أن يتقبل منا صالح الأعمال. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.